A big part of my journey the last year has been the process of rediscovering myself, digging up the me from the past that I lost along the way and picking out the parts of him that I like and want to get to know again. I'm sure a lot of you have been through this in some way or another at some time or another, but if not, maybe it's time to start. It's easy to say that I'm the same person that I've always been because when you're looking at yourself from day to day, you can't see the changes that happen over time. It's too slow of a process, and the influences on our personality throughout our lives are pretty subtle. Because at a certain point, everyone starts to reflect on their life. And what is the point of that reflection if it's not to realize what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and figuring out how we can change those things? And this can, of course, happen before that age too, but I'm just debunking that particular argument about 30. Because if everyone was locked in at 30, that reflection wouldn't happen. And even if you absolutely love the person you are at 30 years old, you aren't perfect, and there's always something you can work on. I do think that our deepest core beliefs are pretty structured by that point, but saying people can't change is naive at best. Beyond even the reflection and the want to change and evolve is the desire to keep the parts of you that hold you back. These personality traits are constantly gnawing at our motivations and determination to change because deep down, you don't really want to. Nobody wants change. Nobody likes change. Change is hard. It's scary. It's an unknown outcome. It's so much easier to accept who you've become than it is to kill that old person in order to become the phoenix that's rising out of the ashes into a newer, better version of who you want to be. But for anyone on a journey that's adjacent to mine, it's not only necessary, it's the only way forward. Because we can't be that old person anymore. Because that person represents the old us, the poor us, the addicted us, the broken us. And sometimes the only way to fix a broken thing is to replace the core parts, the pieces that make it what it used to be, and replace them with brand new ones that are made with stronger alloys and a foundation that represents what that thing was truly meant to be. But that doesn't mean you forget who you were, and that doesn't mean you completely scrub that person from existence. This new person I'm becoming isn't a copy, it's a reincarnation. I'm remembering the past life and the pieces of myself from it that were good and pure and that I want to hold on to. And I'm getting to know those pieces of myself once again so that I can reintegrate them into the person I'm becoming. Think back to when you were a kid. There was an innate curiosity about life, about the world around you, and over time, something about that disappeared. The magic was lost. And it's not because the world is any less magical, it's because we became jaded to it. You remember how to make the world seem magnificent again if you can only remember how to be that kid again. Here's an example that I think will resonate with a lot of people. Say you had a bad relationship in the past, a divorce even, and it made you feel numb to everyone around you. And that's the feeling that you held on to because it was a lot easier to feel nothing than it is to feel heartache again. The love inside you isn't gone. It's just hiding. It's being stifled by a stronger desire to not be hurt. But by doing that, you're hurting yourself in even bigger ways because you'll never experience that happiness and joy that you got from that relationship in the first place again. You remember those feelings, right? It's the whole reason why we seek it out in the first place. Reintegrate that part of yourself into the new you. Love is more than just desire and sex. Those are fleeting things that never actually fill the void. Kill the part of you that's keeping you from being complete. And thinking so much about my own future has made me realize how important my past is to that future. Think back to the best time in your life, a time when you were completely satisfied and happy, if it exists. If not, then just the time that you were the happiest. What's different about you now from then? What parts of you existed that seem to have disappeared over time? They're not gone, they're just waiting for you to rescue them from the dark pit that you abandoned them in years ago. They're still in there, they're still part of you, and it's time you got to know them again, and I promise that you won't regret it. All this energy and vigor that I've had in this past year, this thirst for something new and more, and to be something new and more, this didn't come out of thin air. This came out of rediscovering and reintegrating pieces of myself that the world and its many hardships made me abandon years ago. I was too weak to hold on to them. I couldn't see a way out other than to accept that the things around me were my reality. Life slapped me in the face and I sat down. I became complacent. A perfect little worker bee who followed all the rules that society had taught me were the way to exist because that's just what you have to do to survive. And let me tell you something. The day that I woke up and it dawned on me that I had become a drone, a slave to the system, and I rejected the path that everyone else traveled because that was just what you do, that was the first time in 15 years that it actually felt like I woke up that day. That the day wasn't just a waking dream that I was stumbling my way through, waiting for the world to happen to me. I felt my true, actual personality stir in that moment, and all of my dreams and ambitions came crashing back to me like a tidal wave. And I knew that I couldn't stay where I was, and I knew that I had to force those changes in my life because I never wanted to go through another day like it was a waking dream again. I wanted to live, I wanted to create, and I wanted true freedom. So that's what Everyday Sense has been about for me. Find your own motivation to change, but remember that motivation alone isn't enough. You're fighting years or even decades of conditioning that you have put yourself through. Convinced yourself that this is you now. You're older, you're wiser, you're settled. Bullshit. Rediscover the true you. You will not regret it. Your family won't regret it. You will be amazed at what changes once you do. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. Please do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really does mean the world to me and helps to let the algorithm know that this video is worth the next person's attention. Until next time, take care.